Yellowstone Volcano shock. It's alive. How a 2-foot rise in the caldera stunned scientists. It's alive. And according to scientist Robert Smith, who recorded the rise of 2 feet over a period of more than 50 years, that means that it's heaving. There's a lot of changes taking place. The Yellowstone caldera spreads under the states of Wyoming, Montana, and Idaho, and it's called a supervolcano because of its ability to inflict, in the event of a super eruption, a worldwide event. It's monitored by USGS for signs of any activity of a super eruption, perhaps imminent, and sometimes something that has only happened recently in the 2 million years, 2.1 million years ago, 1.3 million years ago, and 640,000 years ago, which was a double eruption 170 years apart. Since then, they had an eruption of lava at 70,000 years ago, and another 80 eruptions since then. One of them was a hydrothermal eruption 5,300 years ago, which created a lake called Mary Lake. Now, amid speculations, Naked Science Supervolcanoes documentary investigates what activity is going on in Yellowstone National Park, and especially work done by Robert Bob Smith. He works for the University of Utah. And the documentary says Bob discovered 3 enormous eruptions right in the heart of the United States. Yellowstone gave birth to several supervolcanoes, which raises the unnerving thought of whether it could happen again. Bob has been trying to answer that question because he grew up in Yellowstone and has had his first job in the park 50 years ago. He gathered evidence suggesting that our worst nightmares about Yellowstone could be true. And this is what he found. He said in the 70s, he was revisiting Yellowstone Lake when he noticed that the landscape had changed since he was there last. The team was brought in to survey this area. Professor Smith said they did not find what they expected. Trees that were on the edge of the lake seemed to have water in the root systems and inundated by a few inches of water. He went to the old benchmarks that were set up along the highways and the original road surveys. The surveyor said to me, well, these people have made a really big error because I'm off by 2 feet. So the series went on to explain how the supervolcano rises and falls over time. It's alive, it's heaving, and it's breathing. It's active. Strangely, it occurred at the south end of the lake, so Bob came up with an extraordinary theory. He suggested the whole north end of the lake rose, pushing the water towards the south. To check his theory, he organized a new survey of the land, which had not been surveyed since the 1920s. A thorough check revealed the original survey was correct, meaning that between 1923 and 1977, the caldera rose over 2 feet. But that was not all. New surveys in the last 10 years found another surprise. Professor Smith went on to claim that Yellowstone was alive, quote unquote, as he calls it. He says, lo and behold, the ground was going down between basically 1995 and 2000. So we were pretty excited because he gave us the idea that it was dynamic and truly alive. He said this is really like living, breathing caldera. But USGS previously put minds at ease regarding the overdue claims. Yellowstone Volcano Observatory scientist in charge Jacob Lowenstern said in 2014, when you see people claiming it's overdue, usually the numbers they come up with say, the last eruption was 640,000 years ago, but it erupts every 600,000 years, but in fact you average the eruptions between 2.1 million, 1.3 million, and then another 640,000 years, and if you average the numbers, you come up with something that's over 700,000 years. So in reality, even if you tried to make this argument, you would not be overdue for another 70,000 years. Now, in the next video, I'm going to talk about the Yellowstone Caldera Chronicles that comes out every week. And we found that from the Mammoth Hot Springs from 2013 to 2016. They detected the outflow region downslope and interpreted that there were some increases and more than 2 meters of elevation increase were detected in this area. And that will be in the Caldera Chronicles in the upcoming video. There have been changes there, yes. And this is on by Callum Hoare on Express UK. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.